Trump's card could weaken Russia in Ukraine. Russia's foreign reserves are running low, but that doesn't mean Moscow will run out of money anytime soon. Russia's finances depend largely on oil and gas prices, while U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's team is considering plans to increase energy production to lower oil prices. During his campaign, Mr. Trump emphasized his commitment to ending the Russia-Ukraine war. After his re-election on November 28th, he appointed Keith Kellogg, a retired general, as his special envoy to resolve the conflict. Mr. Kellogg had previously drafted a peace plan with former official Fred Fleitz, published by the America First Policy Institute, AFPI. The plan calls for the U.S. to promote ceasefire negotiations between Russia and Ukraine. The U.S. will continue to provide weapons to Ukraine for self-defense, but future aid will be contingent on Ukraine participating in peace talks. At the same time, to persuade Russia, NATO will postpone Ukraine's membership application, and some sanctions on Russia could be eased if Moscow signs a peace deal. In addition, the plan also proposes taxing Russian energy sales to rebuild Ukraine. However, the possibility of Russia agreeing to this plan is a big question because Moscow is making a lot of progress on the battlefield. The Russian Defense Ministry announced on December 1st that it had taken control of the Ilinka and Petrivka areas in Donetsk. According to Reuters, Russia now occupies about 20% of Ukraine's territory, with the pace of its advance in Donetsk at its fastest since March 2022. Russian forces are closing in on Kurakhove and Pokrovsk, which are important coal mines for Ukraine's steel industry. However, Moscow is not without weaknesses. The cost of funding the war is growing, military production has reached its limit, and Russia is increasingly dependent on allies for military equipment and manpower. Inflation in Russia rose from 2.3% in April 2023 to 8.2% in November 2024, causing the ruble to lose purchasing power, with the exchange rate reaching its lowest level since March 2022 at 108 rubles, USD. The Russian central bank was forced to raise interest rates from 7.5% in July 2023 to 21% in October 2024 to curb inflation. Meanwhile, the budget deficit in 2023 has reached 3.2 trillion rubles, $30 billion, and is expected to remain high in 2024. Moreover, oil and gas, Russia's main source of revenue, is under great pressure. The U.S. recently imposed sanctions on Gazprom Bank and banks involved in the Russian energy sector, disrupting cash flows from oil and gas. Trump's team is also pushing for plans to increase U.S. oil and gas production immediately after he takes office on January 20th, 2025. According to analyst Dmitry Oreshkin, Russia's economic situation is unlikely to directly benefit Ukraine in the short term. But if Trump succeeds in lowering oil prices and preventing Russia from evading sanctions, Kiev could gain the upper hand in peace negotiations. In this context, U.S. efforts to squeeze Russia economically and promote peace could change the course of the war, although the final outcome depends largely on the political will and strategy of the parties involved.